Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session on Quick Review series for second year BDS students. I'm Priyanka Jain from the marketing team of Elsevier, and along with my colleague Kritika, we will be moderating the session today. Before we start with the session, there are a few basic rules that we would want to lay out first. So, as you can see, all of you are on mute by default, and you will not be able to unmute yourself at any time during this session. So, if you have any concerns or if you have any questions that you would want to ask the speaker, then please write it only in the Q&A tab that is seen at the bottom panel of your screen. If you are connected through mobile, then it might be at the top of the screen. So only put your questions and your comments in the Q&A tab. Dr. Rao will answer to your questions during the Q&A session that will be after at the end of her presentation. So with this, now let me introduce our speaker to you, Dr. Jyotsna Rao. Dr. Rao is a senior faculty and founder director of SRS Dental Exams Academy, Bengaluru. Earlier, she was a professor in the Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, the Oxford Dental College Hospital and Research Centre, Bengaluru. She has done her BDS and MDS from Government Dental College and Hospital in Hyderabad. She has completed her PG diploma in oral implantology from Manipal Academy of Higher Education and obtained fellowship in oral implantology from Indian Society of Oral Implantology. Dr. Rao has immense experience in teaching UG and PG students, and she keeps herself actively involved in exploring innovative and practical ways of coaching the budding professionals for various state and national level postgraduate examinations. In this session today, you can look forward to some quick study tips and guidance on preparing for your exams. So with this, I hand it over to Dr. Rao. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanka, for your kind words of introduction. And good evening, all the viewers who are participating in this session. I welcome all of you to this session. And especially second year BDS students are the target of today's session. Actually, I really thank Elsevier for conducting such a program for the students because in the view of this pandemic and without any access to your teachers, it will be a real good guidance for your exam prep. So examinations, the word itself, it causes a fear in the students. But actually there is nothing to fear about examinations if you really prepare for them in a sequential manner. So how exactly you have to go about with your exams. And especially second BDS includes very vast and the dry subjects or the hard subjects I say. For everybody, they look really hard. Dental materials, pharmacology, pathology, and microbiology. To look at here, you're seeing four subjects. Dental materials is attempted as a one subject and pharmacology as a separate paper. And both pathology and microbiology together you will be attempting one question paper in the exams. But as such to look at it, we have four subjects with us. But always consider it as a preparation wise, you have to consider only as a three papers. So dental materials, general pathology and microbiology and pharmacology. These are the three sections under which we are going to discuss like how you have to go about with the preparation of the exams. So next slide, please. So steps in the exam preparation. What are the steps in the exam preparation? I mean, like for anything, like you have a proper plan. Whenever you plan nicely, the program goes really well. If you fail to plan, it is planned to fail itself. So proper planning is essential for all the works, whatever we do. So in the exam, especially proper planning is very, very important. What does this plan include? First of all, we know the subjects. First, we discussed what are the subjects included. In that subjects, what is the syllabus which is entitled for us? So first procure the syllabus of your particular universities and then know the pattern of question papers. So question papers, they differ from university to university and sometimes they make it for 70 marks and sometimes for 100 marks. So based on that, a pattern will be little bit different from the place to place. But whatever it is, at the end of the day, the pattern of the questions remains the same. Long essays, short essays, and short notes. So every paper will be almost divided like this only. Only division of the marks will be varying from university to university. So knowing the pattern of your question papers is also equally important, because how much you have to put in the answers you should be knowing. So proper plan includes procuring the syllabus, next collecting all your past papers or knowing the pattern of your question papers, and then comes choosing the correct books or the good books and the good study material. What are the correct books? So there is no correct book as such. There are certain standard books entitled for each subject. So whatever is like followed in your colleges or in your universities, better to go for that. So usually, as we know, general pathology means Robbins, and like when it comes to the dental materials, Anusavis or the Skinners was the previous edition. So any of like such a books, whichever they sell. I mean, like study material when it comes to, I mean, like my study material quick review series is a real good enough material for you to revise at the end of your preparation. But in the beginning, choose correct textbooks, and at the end of the preparation, you have your own study material which is written by yourself, or like a class running notes or my QRS series. Anything will help you in the last revision series. So these are the steps in the exam preparation. So next, how exactly we have to plan the exams. So next slide, please, Priyanka. So proper planning of the exam preparation. Proper planning includes, I mean, like first is a time planning. For any work, first you have to schedule the time. Time is very important because you have to first see how much time is available with you. Based on that, you can plan the subjects. I mean, like what is the content, how much of the subject I can finish in so much of the time. So first is a time planning, because there are two methods of preparation. When you go with the leisure preparation, say about you have some 3 to 4 months or so, it includes a good preparation for you. And if it is a very short period, 10-15 days is left with you, then again the preparation varies, because you have to just scan through the subjects. So first, time planning. Next comes choosing the perfect subjects as per the time schedule. Why I am stressing on the time schedule is, as I told you, general pathology, microbiology, both are vast subjects, but you have to just pertain it to the time, how much time you can allocate to each of them, because each of them carries equally. If the paper is for 70 marks, they carry 35 marks each subject. So when you're going with dental material and the pharmacology, the subject itself carries 70 marks, but here subject of pathology, general pathology 35 marks and the microbiology 35 marks. So when it is scheduled like that, you have to even constrict the time. So in 1 month you have to complete these two subjects, and the next one month you can keep for the dental materials and pharmacology. So like that, when not 1 month exactly, like how much ever time you have, in that you divide 3 portions. In that, one portion should be accommodated with pathology, microbiology together. So that is a choosing perfect subjects as per the time schedule. The next comes some common textbooks to be used. As I told you, whatever textbooks they follow in your schools or colleges, you just go with the same common textbooks. But usually they are same almost throughout Pan India. And then quick revision material, as I told, I mean like in the ending, after you go through the common textbooks, I mean like after you have gained enough knowledge of the subjects, then come down to the quick review material or your study, I mean like your scribbled notes, class notes, or any other good books which are very small and like very simple to I mean like just to scan through the material at the end. You should be able to finish them within a week or 10 days, like that you plan it. This is all about the theory exam planning. So you read the text, you read the quick review series, and you time schedule your available period, all these things. Then coming to the practical exam preparation, this is the other half. The first half includes a theory, the second is a practical exam. So practical exam, actually your preparation goes hand in hand with the theory exams. Whenever I tell you like you're reading, you make a small note of the points. So what, from the practical point of view, as you perform your practical sessions in the college, you can identify what they'll be asking on the chair side whenever they discuss some case or some preparation. See, in the dental materials, they teach you how to mix the plaster, alginate, impression materials, and all those things. So pouring of the models and all. So whenever they do that, what are the possible questions which can be asked surrounding that particular practical session? You should give attention to that. So that completes your practical preparation then and there itself. So along with theory exams, you gain the theoretical knowledge, and then whenever you attend a practical session, make a note of what is being taught there, what they have shown you. So each step, what questions are eligible to be asked in the practical exam, you'll get an idea. So that makes you prepared for the practical exam. So this is a proper planning for the exam preparation. So next comes time planning. As I told you, you may have a good time, 3 months, 4 months, or you may have a very short time, say 10 days, 15 days, like that. So what does this 3 months time do? So you can leisurely prepare, take your common textbooks and just go through the contents, what are most important things in that. So plan it as per the time. Say around 2 topics in a day you can read if you have a good time. Then what you can do is you can select one very important topic and one small topic which just goes off like that, like it has a very few questions asked. So all this idea you'll get only when you go through the previous year's question papers, and like when you read the text and all, you can know which is the important topic, or from practical point of view, what are the subjects usually they cover with the more stress in the classes. So there you can identify which are the important topics. So in the dental materials, when you come to, there are certain topics, so note down those topics, start with them. So in say around you have 20 topics altogether, in that 10 or 12 topics will be very, very important. So first give importance to those or topics, finish it off, then come to this topics where small short notes are asked and a little less weightage is given to the questions, so that your preparation will be more complete. This is a leisure preparation. In case of the quick preparation, you don't have so much of the choosing and choices. Just whatever you read in the previous sessions, you keep just that in the mind, and 10 days, 15 days, quickly, daily 10 to 12 topics or 10 to 14 topics if you can. Check, check, check. You have to just finish off a thorough, I mean, like a scan reading, a bird's eye view of the subject you have to give, so that you recollect entire things what you have read in your previous years. So this is all about time planning. So next comes time schedule. How do you schedule it? As I told you, you have to see these 4 subjects as only 3 subjects, because we are attempting exam only for 3 papers. So say you have 3 months, 3 subjects. So give one month to each section of it. Dental materials 1 month, general pathology, microbiology 1 month, and pharmacology 1 month. Because this is very, very important, as we have to gain the marks from this. So our main aim of the exam preparation is marks. But as such, when you read leisurely, I say in the beginning of the year itself, you select the good books and you have to thoroughly go through the entire text material, so that you will gain the total knowledge. In the last ending preparations, all this quick review series and all those things and this scheduling for 3 months, 2 months will happen at a quick this thing. Otherwise, if you don't know anything about the subject, you can't plan this way. So this is difficult to plan. But once if you have a previous knowledge of your thorough theory, then you can schedule like this. So this is mainly exam oriented preparation. So this is time scheduling. Choose the subjects. So order of choice among the subjects and topics with weightage of the important questions. Once again, it is the same thing. Order of choice among subjects is, as I told you, if you start with oral, I mean like general pathology and microbiology, you keep on spending the time with those 2 subjects, because those 2 subjects put together, what marks you'll be getting, you will get off if you finish one subject. I mean like dental pharmacology, I mean like pharmacology or your dental materials. So dental materials, if you read first, it will just get over very fast, because it has got a legible in what do you say, like table of contents, like the number of topics will be schedule limited, so you can finish it off fast as far as my knowledge goes. But if you like pharmacology, even that's also good to go about. But pharmacology is also is enormous. You have lots of chapters there. There again, we have to choose the important topics and first finish of them. So either dental materials or pharmacology are the first subjects to be completed, because it gives you some confidence, like okay, I have come through halfway of preparation, or more than half preparation is done with my subjects. So that is the reason always I stress like either pharmacology or dental materials are the subjects to be completed first, and then come on to the oral pathology and microbiology, because they are vast. But both the subjects put together, we write one paper, 35 marks each subject carries, when the total question paper is for 70 marks. If it is for 100 marks, 50 marks each paper will carry. So they are half. So it will require a lot of time, but when coming to the gaining of the marks, it will be like one paper equal to. So that is the reason you just club them give them the same importance as you give to the dental materials and pharmacology. So this is choosing of subjects. So order of choice among the subjects, it is left to you, but this is a little guidance, like, okay, fine, I have to complete this one first. You will get an idea. And next comes topics with the weightage of important questions. Important questions in the sense, like, all the questions are important, but from the point of view of exams, what happens when you take one particular chapter, like say dental material, impression materials, you take check, as you think of it, you will remember, okay, alginate impression, agar impression, or reversible, irreversible hydrocolloids, like that. Like the topics will just flow off your mind. Okay, these are the questions commonly asked. First, as you choose the subject, you go through the topics and you see the previous year's question papers and select the questions which are most commonly asked for the long essays, short essays, and short notes, and go accordingly. So topics with the weightage of the important questions, you complete it off first, and then come to the topics with the light vein, like which are only asked for short notes, or like sometimes which will be ignored, like your introduction topic and the latest advances topics. They'll be usually for UGs, they won't give much weightage on that. Like say implants, they're just introduced, you may get one short notes, we don't give a theory for you. It's important for the postgraduates but not for undergraduates. So like that, there are certain common norms. We don't say like we should not ask, we can ask, but it is rarely asked. So this is how a topic weightage goes. Number of questions, how many years they have been asking. So this is how you choose. The choice of the subject should be, and choice of the topics within a subject, because both the subjects are very difficult to remember, your pharmacology as well as dental materials, whereas little lively subjects are pathology and microbiology. So in between these two also you can finish off these subjects so that you'll feel little relaxed. So this is how you choose the subjects. And next, coming to important topics, as I told you, once you see this, you can identify, see, say, let us say around 20 topics in dental materials. Here we have just blocked it, I mean, like given the boxes. Like as you just look at this, you can say introduction, structure, physical, mechanical properties, dental polymers, all this. When you see, there are the basic things wherein only short notes will be touched always. Usually physical properties and mechanical properties, topic 3 and 4, especially short essays and short notes will be touched from those. Whereas when you come to the gypsum products, impression materials, dental waxes, casting investments, restorative resins, dental cements, amalgam, direct filling gold, ceramics, and denture based resins, all these are the topics with more weightage towards the long essays. And not only long essays, when you prepare for a long essay, equally you are getting prepared for the short essays and short notes. So this gives you approach to the exam very easy. Like once you are prepared with long essays, you are ready to write even a short essay or a short notes. Within that answer, this answer will be hidden. If you are really keen to find out that, just go through questions, identify which are asked for the short notes, short essays, and long essays, and then try to club them. Try to include the material whichever is asked for the other type of the questions, like not only long essays. In short essays, what they stressed. So the stressed points can be elaborated in the long essay itself. So you will remember one long essay, you can attempt all the type of the questions. So this is how you can attempt, I mean, like this is how you choose important topics. So I don't say don't read other topics, because just we marked it as a red, don't read only those topics, but give more stress, because these topics again they'll giving, I mean, importance in viva also. There also usually they'll be asking you impression materials, gypsum products, amalgam, gold, all the dental cements, restorative resins, all the resins they'll be asking, bonding agents. So these are the common questions which will be asked. Whoever, like, it just touches on your this thing. So definitely these particular topics, they have weightage both in the theory exam as well as in the practical exam. So that is how listing out of the topics goes in a subject. This
Hello, participants. I think there is some internet issue. Just keep up with us, and the speaker will connect again.
Hello.
Dr. Rao, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Might be some technical glitch. So if you can see the screen, we can get started again.
Can you just share the screen? Hello.
Can you see the screen, Dr. Rao?
Hello. Yeah, the important
Yes, we
topics
can
in
hear you.
general pathology. Important topics in general pathology.
Yeah, Dr. Rao, can you see the screen here?
Yeah.
Okay, we can continue with the session. Thank you.
It is cell injury and the cell death, adaptations, acute and chronic inflammations, and the tissue repair, regeneration, healing. These are the common topics from which you'll get lot of questions. So these are the important topics for the general pathology. And when you come to the other topics like hemopoietic and lymphoid systems and all those things, you have the questions from that, but comparatively these 7-8 topics will have the maximum questions. So you can just give the attention to these topics when you're preparing with the general pathology. So the next slide, please. నాకు రావట్లే. నాకు రావట్లే.
Dr. Rao, can you see the screen?
Hello.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, it is the general microbiology. When you're coming to microbiology, the important topics you have to cover is the sterilization and the disinfection, culture media and the methods. This is the first part, like this is a general microbiology, wherein you can just concentrate on these subjects. When it comes to the bacteriology, like the common bacteria which are touched in the exams are staphylococcus, streptococcus, corynebacterium, clostridium, all these things. But as to see, you have an enormous number of the topics in your this thing. But when it comes to the preparation, you have to just concise to certain topics which are very important. So in general microbiology, you can just concentrate on the sterilization, disinfection, culture media methods, and then bacterial genetics and antigen antibody reactions. All these topics are very important. And when it comes to the bacteriology, most of the bacteria will be touched, but just I mean, like as a common this thing, when you see the previous question papers, you just give the weightage according to the questions which appear in the exams. And then it comes to the fungal infections also, they'll be asked sometimes. But in this, orientedly, if you prepare for just half the question paper is from the microbiology. So accordingly, give the weightage to the questions and go about with the preparation. So the next slide. The pharmacology. When it comes to pharmacology, you can see around 61 topics are shown as far as RQRS. But even in the normal textbook also, you have got enormous number of the topics. But in this, when you come orderly, the first section of it, the routes of drug administration, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, adverse drug reactions, these are the things basically first you have to have a good knowledge of it. So when you have the basic knowledge, then you just move on to the systemic drugs, like which are which part, I mean like which system, I mean, like, which drugs are
Participants, we apologize for the technical glitch that is happening. Just stay with us and the author will start the session again in a few minutes.
Broadband valla problem. Broadband a problem.
Dr. Rao, you're connected again. Can you see the screen now? Can you hear me, Dr. Rao?
Yeah, it's a pharmacology. You're discussing about. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am.
Hello.
You can see the screen, we can hear you.
It's a general pharmacology. So the topics which have the weightage in general pharmacology are the basic topics: routes of drug administration, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and the adverse drug effects. These are the basic things first everybody has to get well acquainted with, so that you can decide on the dosages and the adverse reactions when you prescribe the different drugs and all those things. And coming to the next category is the cholinergic and the adrenergic system affecting drugs. So these also have got a very much good weightage when it comes to the examination point of view. Almost like in this, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and the drugs which act on the respiratory system and the hormones and the drugs acting on the central nervous system. In the drugs acting on central nervous system, general anesthesia and the local anesthetic drugs, these are very, very important from the point of view of the dental surgeons. So even they will be like stressed a lot in case of this. And beyond that, when you come to the cardiovascular drugs, everybody should have the knowledge of the CVS drugs, because whenever the patients arrive with these ailments, you should be knowing on what type of drugs they are kept on. And some drugs will be really you have to be very conscious when you're treating such a patient. So the knowledge of all these drugs will help you throughout in your exams as well as in your practices. So diuretics, antidiuretics are also stressed a lot in the exams. So, and the drugs acting on the gastrointestinal system, all these are the important drugs with implications in the examination point of view. So when it comes to this antiviral, antifungal drugs and all those things, they're, I mean, like they're touched a little. So antimicrobials and the beta-lactam antibiotics, tetracycline, sulfonamides, these are the common antimicrobial drugs they'll be using, and you should have a good knowledge of them. So these are the few topics of the very important implication with your exam preparation as well as in your day-to-day practices. So this is about the choosing of the topics from the different subjects. Next slide, please. So all this prepares you for the theoretical exam. So once you have come out of all this, so you have chosen the good books, you have chosen the good, I mean like the question paper collection you have. So you see the weightage of the topics and all these things. Once this is done, you have to come out with the revision. So these topics, as I told you, they are very dry subjects and very hard subjects to remember. They require a lot of attention while preparation, as well as they require a revision. Repeated revision is equally important for them. So when it comes to dental materials, how exactly you have to remember the things. So some points of it, they are important for the Viva point of view. So ADA numbers, American Dental Association has allotted some numbers to the dental materials. So there is a list of it which is published in your textbooks also, as well as it is given in my series also. So all these ADA numbers allotted to different materials, you have to just memorize and remember. So this is one part of it to remember. And the next part is composition of the some materials, composition of certain cements mix, I mean like impression materials and all the things where you have a, I mean like the compositions ought to be revised repeatedly and remember, because they are only to be memorized and written in the papers. There is nothing like you can understand and write. These are the things to be memorized and put it as it is in your answers. And the numerical values like your setting time, working time, all these things are to be memorized. So these are the things to revise, memorize, remember, and put it across in the paper. So when you're revising dental materials, try to revise the composition of the materials, IDA numbers of allotted to the different dental materials, and the numerical values of your setting times, working time, all these things you have to remember. So these are the things to be revised in dental materials. The next comes the subject of, next slide please, general pathology and the microbiology. There also you have certain classifications to remember and certain biological values and laboratory investigations, because which organisms causes which type of diseases and what are the lab investigations we have to prescribe. So this is from the point of view of the clinicals also. This knowledge of your pathology and microbiology you can apply when you come to the clinics. So this particular subjects are all called preclinical subjects. These are the subjects we study before we enter the clinics. So we have to have a good knowledge of your preclinical subjects to apply when you come to the clinics. So various laboratory investigations for different diseases, you can just identify quick and fast if you memorize and remember them properly. Then sterilization protocols. When you work in the clinics, how exactly you have to keep the environment sterile, how exactly you have to maintain the sterilization, this thing, while you're attempting on the patients also is equally important. So all the sterilization protocols you can get to know from the microbiology. And there, and now and then you have to have a check on the sterilization, whether it is happening properly or not. There are certain indications, thermal indications, biological indicators are there to test the efficacy of your sterilizing equipment also. That also has to be kept in the mind. And culture media, culture methods. Sometimes we have to ask them to do some cultures in particular method only. So it will be very useful if you remember various culture methods. So what are the culture media? It is not much of our concern. It is mainly laboratory concern to me. But culture methods, sometimes we have to know to prescribe which method we want to read that test. So these are the some things to be revised in the general pathology and microbiology. So you remember certain biological values, classifications, laboratory investigations, sterilization protocols, and culture methods. These are the things you have to precisely remember to apply in the next coming future years. And coming to the revision of general pharmacology, all the classification of drugs you have seen. What is a big list of drugs in the pharmacology we deal with? So classification of drugs and routes of drug administration. So each and every drug cannot be administered in the same way. Some drugs will be there only you have to administer subcutaneously. Some are not meant for IV. Some are meant only for intravenous. So like this, there are different routes of drug administration you have to choose for different drugs. So that also you should be very careful. Certain drugs, certain routes only are preferable. So you have to know which route is preferable for the which type of the drugs. So classification of various drugs and routes of the drug administration. And next, coming to the dosages, there are the various methods how you calculate the dosage. So dosage is based mainly on the age of the patient and sometimes on the body weight. So when it comes to the, I mean, like pediatric and the adult doses are common broad division what we know, and sometimes based on the weight of individual also you can calculate the dosage of the drugs. There are certain formulas you have to remember. So you have to remember them to calculate the dosages. And various commonly used supplements like vitamins, antioxidants, all these things you have to sometimes, I mean like your prescription has to be, I mean like supported with these supplemental drugs also. So you should have a good knowledge of the various combinations of the vitamins you can get and like all these things, so that your prescriptions will be a complete data. So these are the things you have to revise in the pharmacology. Next, coming to the good books to choose. What are the common textbooks you choose? And what are the good quick revision and the study materials? This we have been revising from the beginning. like common textbooks, whatever is prescribed in your university or in the schools and colleges, like as per your guidance from your teachers, or certain textbooks are there which are really meant for those subjects. So you have to choose those common textbooks, and then come to the good quick revision materials. Good quick review series is like QRS series you can choose, or any other quick revision books you can choose for the last minute preparation. And study material, whatever you prepare from your class notes or the scribbled material, whenever you read, you make a point of the notes. So all those things form a quick review study material which you can use for the exam preparation. So next slide.
Hello, Dr. Rao, are you with us?
Now, yeah. Next
Okay, you
slide.
can, yeah.
Yes, it is an answer. I mean, like the long answer questions, or the how, like a question. I mean, like how the answer you have to see from the point of view of the application. See, like when you get some like define inflammation is a question. I mean, like a long question, define inflammation and discuss the cellular events in the acute inflammation. So same thing when they will be asking it for a short notes or the short essay question. Phagocytosis is here the box what you can see, it is one of the short notes question. So this short notes question is covered within this long essay. So this is a long essay question. So discuss in detail, define inflammation, discuss the cellular events in acute inflammation. So in this particular answer, you can find like there is a long answer you're preparing. At the same time, you have got a short notes which is hidden in this long essay. So this is how you club a long essay with the short notes. Next slide. Yes, here you can see the cardinal signs of inflammation. The same question is asked in the 14 short notes as a signs of inflammation. So this is a short essay category. What you're seeing a box is a short essay category wherein the marks carried for that particular question are 5 marks. When you come to the short notes question, it is signs of inflammation. It carries 2 marks. So if you just put this box for the short notes question, it will be enough. Like the cardinal signs of inflammation, those 4 signs, if you just mention the names, the rubor, tumor, calor, dolor, these are the signs of cardinal signs of inflammation. So if you put these 4 words in the short notes category, you will be awarded the total marks. So this is how a short essay will contain a short notes question. So a long essay will contain a short notes or a short essay. A short essay might be helpful to answer a short notes. So this is how when you're preparing for the exam point of view, when you're preparing for long essay, you always concentrate on what short essays could be asked from this long essay, what short notes could be clubbed with this long essay. So in this way, it will be helpful for you to answer quickly in the exams. So next comes. So comparatively, as I told you, long essays will carry usually 10 marks, whereas the short essays in some universities, they carry 5 marks, in some places they carry 2 marks. This is one of the universities which have got 70 marks awarded in the total paper. Here it comes with the different categorization, but whatever it is, at the end of the day, you can see the total marks accounted for 70. They have given 16 marks for one and the 5 into 2 marks for this. So it is 2 marks, 5 questions, 2 questions they have to attempt with the 5 marks each. And in the next section in the part B, they have given 8 into 2, means 8 marks are allotted. 2 questions they have to attempt. And likewise, when it comes to the short essays, 5 marks each and 2 questions, and the short notes 3 marks each into 3. So this is one pattern of the question paper. Just come on to the next slide. So this is another university wherein I told you pathology and the microbiology are awarded half marks. That is 70 marks is a total question paper. Here pathology has got 35 marks. So they have given one long essay for 10 marks, and next short essays you have totally 6. In that 3 are allotted for the general pathology. So you get 15 marks, 3 questions with 5 marks each in the short essays, and short notes 5 questions are there, 2 marks each, you get 10 marks. So this 35 marks is half the marks allotted for general pathology. Next slide. It will show the microbiology. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is microbiology. So microbiology has got again 35 marks allotted, one long essay with the 10 marks and short essays with the 5 marks, and 5 short notes questions with the 2 marks each. So this is one half of this thing. Whereas it comes to the pharmacology, you can see 70 marks are allotted. In that you get 2 long essays with 10 marks each, and then you have 8 5s are 40 marks for the short essays and 20 marks for the short notes. So 2 marks. So this paper is for 70. So they have divided in such a way like 2 10 marks questions, 8 5 marks questions, and 5 2 marks questions. So it doesn't make a sense. Like it doesn't matter however they give the question paper, but this is how the marks allocation will be there. See, in different universities they follow the different patterns, but whatever it is, at the end of the day, when it is a long essay, try to attempt in a elaborated way, whatever they ask. See, classify penicillins, write the spectrum of action, mechanism of action, all those things, therapeutic uses, adverse effects. So this many will comprise long essay. So you have so many involved in one long essay. Whereas it comes to the short essay or short notes, they'll ask you one part of it, either mechanism of action as a question or adverse effects of amoxicillin, something like that. So one short essay when you're preparing, it will help you to cover within the long essay. Or sometimes they'll ask you 2 advantages of the penicillin or just classification of the penicillins. So one part of the long essay will become a short essay, or maybe one uses or 2 uses or adverse effects will become a short notes. So in that way your exam attempt will become, approach will become really very easy, and you can gain the marks very quickly with that pattern of the preparation. So next slide. So all this prepares you for the theory exams. So when you come to the practical exams, how exactly you have to go about? Practical exam, as I told you, when you are preparing for your theory exam, just give a side by small importance to that. See, key points to remember. So each topic has got certain key points to remember. So when you're going with the QRS, the latest version of the QRS has got a good practical part of it. So you have certain key points added at the end of the book, and you have some Viva questions, you have some multiple choice questions. So all this will help you to prepare for the Viva examination or the practical examination. So as you see the new edition of the QRS, you can see a blue line going around the book. So that is the key points. So you can just memorize your key points so that you'll be well versed with all the important things to remember. And next comes your Viva questions, and then some small MCQs also will help you. So any of these questions you can easily answer your Viva voice. And then remembering the specimens and spotters that you have to perform yourself when you are having a practical session. And then practice the procedures whatever they do in the examinations, mixing of the cements or mixing of the impression materials in case of dental materials, and preparing a slide in microbiology. And when it comes to pharmacology, identifying the specimens and all those things, or mixtures, some of the preparations they might give you. So all this comes under the practical exam preparation. So make some key points from each topic, and have some important Viva questions framed in with you, and then some specimens and spotters, small notes you can make, and practice the procedures whichever are meant for the practical exam preparation. So this will help you to prepare for your practical exam side by side when you're reading your theory itself. So next slide. So after all, whatever we prepare, whatever you are studying, it keeps you how much ever like you deserve. So you become what you study. It is a saying by Robert Kiyosaki. Not only that, we also know like how much ever effort you put, that much like returns you can get from your preparation. So when you methodically go about your preparation, definitely you deserve to get what you deserve to get. Whatever you study, it will be read back in the form of your marks. Next slide. So after all this presentation, I hope there are certain key points you can take up with you, and like they are setting a goal. The goal of exam preparation, when we are talking about exam, the goal of exam preparation is just pass. So passing exam is a goal for some people, and gaining, I mean like distinctions or the medals or the gold medals and all those things is a goal for somebody. So goal differs from person to person, but set your goal. Whatever is your goal, you can stick to that. And systemic skimming of the topics, as I told you, you have to thoroughly have a knowledge of the topics so that you can have the good approach to the topic reading. And then associated reading, engaging all your senses. What do you mean by this? It is a sight, sound and writing. All these three senses will help you to remember your subject. So sight is when you're reading a textbook, you try to remember the visual format of the textbook, like where the maps are given, where the points are given, I mean like in the box forms or some any pictures, and they make a mind map of those things. When you look at the text, I mean like when you're looking at a book, you should form or frame a mind or the picturesque this thing in your mind so that it stays for a long time. And once you read, just don't leave it like that. You just go discuss with your colleagues or discuss with your juniors or like wherever, like whichever type of the minglings you have, you just have a little bit conversation about the topics what you read, so that you can memorize it, you can revise it in that way. And make writing, always make a small note or a half a page of the essence of it, a content of it, so that it'll be easy for you for the Viva preparation. So, and a repeated study and the condense and simplifying the subject. So reading subject is an art. So applying all this methods, whatever we have discussed, it will ease your preparation. So setting a goal, systematic skimming of the topics, and associated reading, including your visual, sound and the writing skills together. And then whenever you read actively with full involvement, then that will help you to grasp the good subject. And repeated revision of the subjects, condense and simplify the subject so that it stays for a long time with you. So this is how you have to just get yourself prepared for the exams. And this is QRS BDS new version, the new edition, the 4th edition has come, and it is really helpful in this last minute of your exam preparations. Especially this book, as I told you, questions of each subject are neatly arranged in the chapter wise, topic wise manner, and the questions are grouped as per the university pattern of the 8 questions, long essays, short essays and short notes. And the originality of the university questions is also maintained as it is, with the year of asking at the end of it. You have a question bank. The question bank contains exact university questions as it is, how they are asked in the exams, and year of examination is mentioned by the each question, like how many ever times it is asked, so many years have been put by the side of your questions. And the figures, flow charts, tables, everything is appropriately arranged as per the need of the exam preparation. So the significance of this book, mainly it is schematically and precisely answered questions, the presentation of the questions, and the giving of the key points for the Viva voice, and the Viva questions itself are framed for easy preparation of the practical exams. So all these things will be helping you to come out of your exams with the flying colors.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Thanks a lot for sharing the tips with the students and guiding them on how to prepare for the exams. We have received some questions from our participants, so I will read out these questions to you now.
Sure.
Okay, so ma'am, the first question that we have received is, are diagrams needed while answering each and every question in pathology and microbiology?
Actually, wherever the diagram is stressed, better to put a diagram. Even if not so artistic diagrams, you can just put the line diagrams. Always a diagram will speak more than the words. As you say, one picture will speak about 10 words. So better if you have the skills and the art of putting line diagrams, it will really add up to your marks. Yeah, next question.
Okay,
Priyanka.
ma'am. So next, the question the students have asked is that since we need to answer different questions with different marks, what should be the main difference in answering a 4 mark and a 2 mark question? Both are short answers, but what should be the main
See, when
difference?
the 4 marks question is asked, they'll ask you certain, say, clinical features. Yeah. So when it comes to the short essays, say 4 marks or 5 marks, according to the university they allot, when it is asked for the 4 marks, the clinical features, you write about 6 to 7 points or 8 points, you write 4 marks, may say you will get 3.5 marks surely. Or if all the lines are appropriately oriented, you may get the full marks also. But if it comes to the short notes, when 2 marks question is asked, you need not write the 10 points. You write the most important 2-3 signs or the symptoms of that particular question, whatever they ask you. So that is the difference. You pick up the very important things, then put in a 2 or 3 lines for the 2 marks questions that we'll be doing.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
So next, yes, you can hear me, right? Dr. Rao, you can hear me? Hello, Dr. Rao. Hello, Dr. Rao.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello. Yeah, please.
Okay. So I will read the next question to you, ma'am. So the student says that how can we link general microbiology and pathology together if we want to study them? So what exactly we need to concentrate on? I think we lost Dr. Rao again. Let us just wait for a couple of minutes for her to join again.
Hi everyone. I guess there is some issue with the Dr. Rao. Are you there?
No, she is not yet
So what we
connected.
can do here is we have received the questions from everybody. Maybe we can just take the answers from the author later on, and the answers for the questions whichever you have asked will be shared over the mails with you. And also the recording of the session and the certificates, everything will be shared on the mail with you guys. And we really apologize for the kind of technical glitch we have faced today. So we'll try to rectify that by answering all your questions through the author on your emails itself. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
everyone. We will connect for the next sessions surely, and we'll keep you posted about the updates about this one. Thank you everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.